Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's DIY video, I'm going to be showing you how to make two different kinds of mermaid tail pendants with polymer clay and resin. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is choose 3 different colored clays. Then I'm going to roll one of them out. I'm going to take a small clay cutter and just cut a bunch of little pieces of clay like this. Next, I'm going to roll all the little clay pieces into balls like this. Now I'm just going to take one of each colored clay and smash them out like this, creating a scale-like effect. I'm just going to keep rotating the colors and placing them on top of each other to make the body part of the mermaid tail. Just keep overlapping your colors like this and switch between each one. And when you feel like that's enough scales on your mermaid tail pendant, then you are good to go to make the bottom part where the fins are. To make the mermaid tail fins, I just rolled out some more clay and I took a triangle clay cutter and cut out 2 pieces and stuck them on the side of the scales I just made, like this. I'm using the rounded end of my tool to press the pieces together. That way they stay together whenever you are trying to make the rest of your mermaid tail pendant. I'm also using the rounded end of my tool to shape the fins the way I want them to look. You can make them as curved as you want, or you can leave them straight. It's completely up to you. Next, I'm adding details with the pointy end of my tool. I'm just adding the fin designs like this. You can make the fins look however you want. It doesn't matter. I'm using a toothbrush to add some texture to my scales to make them look more realistic. If you feel they are way too high, feel free to move them down like I just did. I feel like they look a lot better at the end of the pendant. Now I'm just adding some details to the scales of the pendant. I'm adding some lines, that way they look more like scales and look really cool. I'm adding some more details to the fins part as well, that way it looks more realistic on the fins. Now I'm going to add some chalk pastels. You don't have to do this part, but I think it makes them look really cool and makes it pop out because it looks like a lot more colorful than it does if you were to just use polymer clay. The chalk pastel colors I'm using are dark blue, dark gray, and then dark green. You can tell on the ends when I put the dark green how much of a difference it looks. This is definitely a fun project to make if you want to make something like this for your kids or even have your kids make it. It's a lot of fun and you spend a lot of time doing all kinds of different neat things to these pendants. You can even take it a step farther and add some glitter or mica powders or even get the metallic powders that make them stand out even more. I don't have any in stock right now, but when I do, I will definitely make a video to show you how to use them and show you how much of a difference it'll make your pieces of jewelry. We are now working on the next mermaid tail piece. What I'm just doing right now is I cut a square out of red, and then I made 2 triangles with the orange like this. Now I'm rolling out the reddish brown color that I have, and I'm going to make the fins out of this color. I'm just taking my knife and trying to make a design that I think would look really cool. And I'm cutting the ends off of the red. That way you can place the fins on there and they look like they attached. Use your knife to cut the fins however you want them to look. Then I'm just going to place the body part on the fins and press down. That way they attach to the fins. And use my knife to work around the edges to kind of clean it up and make them more fin-like. Now this is my favorite part. I'm just cutting off little triangles of orange and placing them on the reddish brown part. And then I'm going to add some red and some brown on there as well. And then I'm going to mix them because the effect it's going to make at the end is going to be really cool. It doesn't really matter where you place the little cut up pieces because when we chop it with our little knife, we're going to blend the colors. And then when we pour resin over it, it's going to make a really cool mermaid tail effect. We are now adding the brown and the red pieces on top of the orange. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Once we added all the colors that we want on there, we're going to smash them together on the fins like this. Now we are going to use the end of our knife to make a choppy effect like this and sort of blend the colors together. Once you feel the colors are mixed enough, then you are ready to do the next part. I'm now cutting off any excess clay, and then I'm going to shape my fins the way I want them to look. I cut off a good portion of mine, but don't worry, they're going to look good when I finish. Now I'm going to spread them out and show you what I did. I'm making a square piece as the body part, and then I'm going to stick it on the top of the pendant, and then I'm going to roll it over the back of the pendant. That way it creates a loop for you to put a necklace chain or even to put it on your bracelet. Here's how I create the loop. I just roll it over once like this. Now I'm just adding some designs with my tool. Now I'm going to add some resin to the pieces and then cure it. This is going to keep anything from happening to your pendant, like anything from water or moisture from messing your pendant up or ruining it. It's just going to lock in everything that you just made, the color and everything else. We are going to do the same exact thing on the other side like this. I'm just going to put resin on it and then cure it. Look how cool that turned out. It looks so awesome. I love it. I already put a little hole in the top of it with my little resin drill. That way you can add a necklace to it if you want. I'm also going to do the same thing to the second piece. It's going to look really cool once it's cured, and I'm going to show you the effect that mixing the colors look. Look how awesome that is. You made the loop, and you can put a necklace chain on it if you want, so that's pretty awesome. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you enjoy my content, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you soon.